All right, our third drawing is super fun. It's of the four, maybe my favorite. And it's because it has these wonderful contour ellipses in it. And I'll show you where to put those. So what we're going to do is we start by kind of roughing it out. We establish where the head is. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle. We establish the angle of the arms. Vertical, vertical. Again, it's like you almost have this letter M, which is wonderful. One of the reasons I love Mr. Herring is he's got all these very accessible drawing points that we can hit on. And this is the body. Now, we haven't done form subtraction or addition yet. We will. This is an opportunity, though, to practice it. So we are going to follow this contour and turn it into an ellipse. And then we have a vertical line that goes down, vertical line that goes down, another contour. And let's do that again. Looks like he goes all the way down. My drawing is turning out a little different from Mr. Herring's. That is okay. If your drawing turns out different, that's cool. It looks like maybe I drew his body a little too big, so maybe that's an oopsie on my part. But one of the great things about being an artist is if you practice enough, your oopsies become pretty neat. So let's see if I can make that happen. If not, that's life. You'll notice that I've given him a bend here. That's not how his original work looks. And that's okay. I'm changing some of these lines. I've made it more complex than necessary. So I'm going to back off if I make a mistake. That's okay. I'm just going to try not to make the same mistake twice. And it looks like his legs are going to be off. So hey, there we go. But it's still, there's still something productive and fun about the drawing. So I would not mark myself down for that. But I also wouldn't be delusional and say it's perfect. Before, I've attempted to draw it before. You'll notice that the height-width relationship, it is longer than it is tall. So I am going to crop down my drawing space. That's totally allowed. And what I would say is it's better to do something like this where it's like an intentional changing and setting of space than it is to like draw something like really small. Like if I had this whole piece of paper right here and I had to draw something and I drew it like little right here, that's not really the best use of space. And that is something you develop as an artist, and I think you'll develop just fine. So it looks like we have these upside down letter U's. Let's not call them heads, let's call them upside down letter U's. And it looks like one is here and the other is here. It looks like we have a line that is diagonal that comes over, and then it actually continues behind his buddy over here. I'm picking up on this interior negative space triangle. If you haven't heard me use negative space before, don't worry, it's something we teach here at Highland Middle School Art. And then we have this baseball diamond shape in between the two bodies. If you guys haven't noticed, I'm drawing the inside, not the outside. As an artist, that's a decision you're free to make. It's a good decision to draw negative space sometimes, because if you look at all the positive space, there's just so much going on that often it's easier to maybe look at what isn't there. There's a saying in music, and it goes something like this. It's not about the notes you play, it's about the notes you don't play, which I always thought was an interesting way of looking at it. It looks like I'm adding to this drawing too, go figure. I've added feet, so that'll happen. That's allowed. my spacing wasn't perfect, and when things aren't perfect, it's not the end of the world. It just means you have to problem solve, you have to think about things, and you have to not give anything in your life the opportunity to, you know, derail you. So I got a lot going on there. It looks like maybe, let's see if we can bring this together. And if I can't, that's okay. Again, this is just Quicksketch, even though I think I may be breaking my own rules and going over because I want to put out good content. There we go. That was like the magic touch. And if your anatomy looks weird, anatomy is maybe the more technical term for limbs, I would challenge you not to be hard on yourself and to look at, you know, Keith Haring's work. Like, his anatomy is not spot on. And that's the point. Anatomy is not what makes his work great. These images are not compelling because they are super technical renderings of the human form. These images are compelling because of the things they don't have. They don't have, you know, the realistic nose, they don't have the contrapposta of the David. But what they do have is dynamic color, what they do have is heavily stylized lines, and what they do have is everything you need and nothing you don't. And that's what makes this artist so special. So, thank you for watching these quick draws. It is now your turn to give them a shot, and we will pick up in a minute.